Hi, I'm Dr. Jerry Montagna, and in this segment we're going to explain the difference between a Warp 10 and a Warp 75. These are both devices made by Quantum Devices Incorporated in Wisconsin. These are the devices that did the research through Quantum for NASA. The research that is used for the military, as well as the research, particularly this unit, that was done for NASA using their technology, using this technology produced for NASA for cancer patients and the symptoms they were having from the chemotherapy. The difference between the two is, first thing is obvious, is the size. The Warp 10 has 48 LED chips in it. The Warp 75 has 360. If you multiply that out, that's 7.5 times larger in space than what the Warp 10 is. Being 75 times or 7.5 times larger, they decided to call it the Warp 75. Scientists tend to be scientific along that line, but that's how the names came about. I will start off telling you there is nothing that you can't do with this that you can do with this. It just may take longer. This being smaller, one, more portable, run on batteries. You can carry in your purse, briefcase, travel with it, throw it in your suitcase, this type of thing. Much easier than the bigger one. So many people have it for that reason. Many people have both for that reason. And using the Warp 10 to cover an area, let's say that I'm going to cover an arm here. Now, I've mentioned before, you always want to go against the skin, do not go through clothing. But let's say that I want to do an arm here. You do not have to overlap, because the way the LED chips send out energy this way as opposed to other units. But you put it ½ inch or so apart and you'll still get the same effect. But I have to do like a run for 88 seconds, so I have to do a minute and a half, minute and a half, minute and a half, minute and a half. Where with the Warp 75 I can do zap, zap, I'm done. So it's covering the area more than anything else. The difference between these and other units, these have chips. The other units use what I call bulbs like you would get at an electronics store. You see the bulbs have little globes on top, and it takes the energy and the light and shoots it straight up, which is fine for LED lights if you want something bright that way. But the difference is these have chips from China, or Japan, excuse me, and it's the only thing not made or produced and put together in Wisconsin is the chips, and they send out energy this way, therefore covering the whole area. So it covers the area, gives you more power because of that. The fact that this is bigger will get things done quicker than this, not only just because of space, but because of energy. If I'm going to massage your shoulder, I'll use one hand, and you'll say, oh, that feels good, and muscles start relaxing. But if I use two hands, we're going to get those muscles to relax quicker and get to deeper into the muscles quicker because of using more power. This being bigger will produce more power into it. It's the same power per square inch, but it's going to produce more power into it because it can come in, in a bigger unit. The other thing, of course, between the difference is this is 7.5 times larger than this in covering space, and the price reflects along that same line. So some of it depends on your budget, but you can. It just takes longer with this. In our office, we have both. We use in my chiropractic practice. If we have somebody with a carpal tunnel, we can have them using this around. Again, we want to do the entire joint, and I think I've mentioned before, whenever you're doing a joint, you want to cover all the joints above, below. If I'm doing an elbow, again, I wouldn't be doing it through the shirt. Above, below, and into the crease. Same way with the knee. You want to come into the back of the knee as well as above and below. Makes it quicker and easier with this in our office. But if we've got a carpal tunnel, we'll just have the patient doing it. This can be more convenient if you want certain areas like coming up under the neck, but still, this can be done. If I'm going to use it for wrinkles in the face, again, you don't have to overlap. You can go around like this, and again, you can go over the eye, just close the eyelid. Where with this unit, I can come in and cover bigger areas with it. So it all depends on what your uses are, what it is you're wanting to get out of it, as well as what your budget is. I hope this helps explain the difference between the two. If you have any questions or comments, you can contact me by going to www.warp-light.com. That's warp-light.com. If you're having some successes, we would love to know about it. I'll pass it on to the company. This is where a lot of the research comes from. This is how some of the research that they're doing now on dry macular degeneration, concussions, some Alzheimer's, all kinds of things that are going on. They have research happening. They want to know about it because people tell us about it and then they start investigating it. I hope this helps explain things for you, and I hope you have a great day and may God bless.